Hello and welcome to Good or Bad. You may have been wondering where I've been since Christmas. Well, the simple answer is doing this. Which of course means it's Birdemic. In 2008, an independent movie was released that became so popular for being so bad that it got its own cult following. And then in 2010 the movie was picked up and distributed by Severin Films, and since then Birdemic, or to give it its full title, Birdemic Shock and Terror, has continued to be one of the worst movies of all time, which naturally means I was attracted to it. Because I hate myself. The movie begins with a car slowly driving along the road for over 3 minutes. I have a thing about long drawn-out intros, you may have noticed, but this takes it to a whole new level. It's monotonously boring, and it just keeps playing the same music over and over again on a loop. Are we there yet? What about now? Are we there yet? 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 Are we there? You may have noticed that I am not the best of passengers to have. Well, luckily enough, we do finally get there, so that means we get to see something different. Oh my god, we get to see him walking down the street! Help me! This is gonna be a long one. Okay, when he finally gets to where he is going, we see some dialogue. Hi! Hi.
Here's the menu.
Thank you.
What the hell have I gotten myself into? Alright, our main character Rod, played by Alan Barr, sits down and sees someone who tickles his fancy. Yeah, Rod's not exactly subtle, so Rod leaps up and chases her down. I know I'm making this seem a little pervy stalkery, but come on, the movie's doing most of that for me. He starts talking to his love at first sight, Natalie, who is played by Whitney Moore, and it turns out they used to go to school together. They exchange contact details, and it surprises me that this movie doesn't show them individually entering each number into their phones. The movie treats us to more driving and even a spot of refuelling. Oh, we are indeed blessed by this movie's existence. The movie shows us that Rod is a salesman and he closes a deal. Woohoo! Well, that's the closest this movie's going to get to an expression of emotion. And Rod isn't the only one with good news. Natalie manages to get a modelling job at Victoria's Secret. Woohoo! Sorry, I just couldn't resist. Rod gives Natalie a call and asks her to dinner.
I know a good Vietnamese restaurant.
Sounds delicious. I'll see you then.
Yes.
Looking at his face right now, it makes you wonder what's going on beneath the camera. After a bunch of filler scenes that no one cares about, we reach a more essential scene that no one cares about. Okay, it's not that essential. They exchange bios and demonstrate their utter lack of emotion despite apparently falling in love with each other. Oh, and another thing. That happens! While they were out walking, we see some birds! They don't attack anyone, they just hover there and look faker than, well, pretty much anything. Then we move to another scene. Natalie goes to see her mother and tells her about Rod. Okay, you know what? This movie has so much filler, it's pretty much the first 45 minutes of the movie. So I'm just going to speed through it because it's so pointless. Natalie's mother doesn't approve of her modelling career and wants her to go into real estate. Rod attends a meeting and talks to his best buddy who is just going to die off screen later in the movie, so it's not even worth mentioning his name. Rod is introduced to Natalie's mother, they chat, have more romantic trips out where they see some dead birds on a beach and eventually end up staying in a hotel where he boinks her brains out, and then the following morning this happens. My God! think my mind has adjusted to what I'm seeing here. These are eagles that sound like seagulls. And when they crash into things, they play aircraft sound effects and explode. I think I know what they are. Cybernetic eagle gulls fitted with engines. Rod and Natalie see the cybernetic eagle gulls and try to phone for help, but the landline isn't working, and his phone's battery is dead.
Can they get in?
Not for the moment.
Yes, if there is anything Rod knows about cybernetic eagle gulls, it's that they must fulfill a quota of hovering menacingly for at least 3 minutes before smashing through a window. They barricade the window, then notice that they have gone, so they take a small trip to their neighbours, Ramsey and Becky. They have a bit of a chat and come up with a plan. They shall all go to Ramsey's car and get the hell out of there, but first they must arm themselves with coat hangers. It's the cybernetic eagle gulls! What will they do? What? So they get into the car where they arm themselves with guns. Yeah, apparently Ramsey was in the army, so he keeps guns in his car. So now they are shooting at the cybernetic eagle gulls and not just waving coat hangers around in the air. But the strange thing was, it was surprisingly effective. They drive off and find some dead people and rescue some kids, all while the traffic around them is driving by normally. Yeah, it kind of ruins the immersion. Wait, what am I talking about? You don't get immersion when these are your effects. Our band of survivors stops off at a store to resupply, and on the way out we get another attack scene, which involves them shooting and then driving off. If I'm honest, it is getting a tiny bit easy to predict. Then they have a picnic. Well, of course they do. You know, there's a freaking bird apocalypse going on and they stop for a picnic. Why wouldn't they? And some ornithologist just comes out of nowhere and explains that global warming has given the birds bird flu, and I guess the ones that aren't dead go crazy. Or they go crazy, then they die. Either way, the message is simple. Global warming is bad. We need to stop it before eagles start sounding like seagulls and aircrafts and blowing up. We need to stop it. Otherwise, we will be living in Birdemic. And I don't know about you, but that scares the hell out of me. And to further this movie's stupidity, there are people in the background on the beach like it's any old day at the seaside. It's like if in Jaws, the scene with the boy on the raft being dragged down, where all the actors and the extras, the people who are part of the movie, rushing out of the sea. But imagine if in the background, in the ocean, there were some people still playing that were just average holiday makers. They weren't part of the movie, but they were still in the camera shot. That's exactly what it's like. And it's stupid. Okay, after that guy's cameo, they drive off until they stop for a call of nature.
Where's Becky? She's taking a shit.
I do love how blunt that scene is. While Becky is attending to her business, she gets jumped and killed. Ramsey has an emotional breakdown which involves shooting some pictures out of the sky and reminding everyone that Becky is dead.
The Eagles killed Becky!
Woohoo! Then less than a minute later...
Hey, those people on that bus are being attacked by those birds.
So our heroes get to work saving them. The people trapped on the bus won't make a run for it, so Ramsey decides to run in and get them. When he has them off the bus, he tries to get them back to his car, but... the birds vomited on them? Spewed acid? Pissed on them? Well, it doesn't matter, they're all dead. That guy just blinked! Okay, it's possible that he could have been dying at that point and not already dead, but I think that's giving this movie too much credit. They stop off at another store, only unlike the last one where there was dead bodies, so they could just take what they needed and leave. This one has a guy still working there, in the middle of a crazy bird attack. He's still working. Well, at least he takes advantage and overcharges them. Oh, look at that! On the way out they get attacked and shoot at them and drive off. Isn't this original? While they are driving, they stop to help someone, who then pulls a gun on them and demands their car fuel. Then he gets killed and they drive on. I do so love scenes that have an actual impact on the story at hand. You know, I think it's about time this movie gives us another long speech by a random stranger. They find an environmentalist in a forest. They went to a forest to get some water. He lectures them about, you guessed it, global warming and a little bit of deforestation. He tells them all to enjoy the trees while they are there. Then he buggers off. They run back to their car and, ooh, more driving! You don't get sick of it in this movie. Really, you don't.
Damn it! Ran out of gas.
Oh dear. I guess that increases their chances of getting cornered by some cybernetic eagle gulls and getting killed to death. Or maybe that's just me wishing it. Rod goes and takes a look at what's in the back of the car.
Hey, look, a fishing rod. I can go catch some fish. Oh, look, a stove. We can cook it.
You're testing me, aren't you? Rod captures a fish and cooks it, but the kids refuse to eat it and demand a Happy Meal. Well, that store was open, so maybe there's a McDonald's still open somewhere. Oh no, the killer birds are here, what are they going to do? They run to the car and shoot at them again. But at least this time they can't just drive off. The eagle gulls have them cornered, and then they run out of ammo. Okay, this is the first time in this movie I don't know what they're going to do. They've run out of ammo, they can't drive away, they're stuck. How are they going to get out of this one?
Look, they're leaving.
What? They flew away? Why? They had them cornered! Finally, they had them trapped with no means to defend themselves, and they don't kill them? They fly away? Why? Why not just kill them? So they stand there and watch the cybernetic eagle gulls fly somewhere. God knows where, I don't even know why they didn't even kill them. They're just not trying anymore. And then the movie ends. Birdemic is stupid. It's so stupid, and it's easily deserving of being called one of the worst movies of all time. It makes little sense. It has special effects that are god-awful, the acting is insanely bad, everyone just reads their lines with a complete monotone. Okay, there's one person in this movie who didn't. Natalie's mother actually expressed joy. I know, an expression of an emotion in Birdemic? That's crazy! The worst thing about this movie isn't the acting, it's not the script, it's not the special effects, it's not even the fact that the birds are barely in it. Oh no, it's the sound editing.
Hi.
Stuff like that happens all throughout the movie. I know they are trying to eliminate the background noise, but just muting it when they aren't talking is even more distracting than just hearing whatever's going on in the background. Or they could try dubbing. I know it's very tedious, but making a movie is supposed to be tedious. It's hard work. You don't just cut to the easy way, because then you end up with this.
Hope you enjoy. I really enjoyed meeting your mother.
The movie makes zero effort to make it at least decent quality. I may have ripped into movies like Slugs and the Eden Formula, but you know what? At least they feel like movies. This is just pathetic. Which is why a lot of people love it, and from the perspective of laughing at it and making fun of it, I can see why. It is pretty damn silly, so there is at least that reason to watch it. But if you're looking for an actual movie to watch, you're not going to find it here. This movie sucks, and you have been watching Good or Bad. See you next time. Oh, I have just the thing to deal with this. Oh. Come on, Kit. Rod is introduced to Natalie's mother, they chat, have more romantic trips out where they see some dead birds on a beach and eventually end up staying in a hotel where he bonks her brains out, and then the following morning this happens.